Hello and welcome to all my dear students and friends. I am Rabinshu Sharma, Assistant Professor in Department of Journalism and Mass Communication of Babu Banarsi Das University. Today I am going to start a video lecture series on this topic graphic designing. So before starting the lecture, let me introduce with the prescribed syllabus of the university. Yeah, you can see the title is Design and Graphics Lab. Course code is BJMC4152. The topic of the module 1 is typography and colors in design. Yeah, these two topics are the very important topic. Typography, what is typography, why it is used in the industry, what are colors, like types of colors, color schemes, what are the role of color, types of colors. Module 2 deals with the logo designing, corporate stationery designing, and module 1 there are a few other topics which you cannot see over here, like elements of design, colors of design. These are also the very important topics that we will be covering in this video. So let me start with a small introduction of the topic graphic designing. What is graphic designing? Generally people talk about designing. What is graphic designing? So graphic designing is the process of visual communication and problem solving. There are a lot of problems, like not problem that we deal in the day-to-day life. Problem is like in graphics, like industry. It is industry. We have to communicate our things. We have to tell things to the customers. We have to communicate various types of communication, like internal and external. So we are using graphics, images, text, any other things like animation. So we are using all these things to make our problem easy, to make our task easy. So we use typography, we use photography, we use iconography and illustration. These are the small words: typography, photography, iconography and illustration. I hope you will get the exact meaning in my video later. So we will be starting with the typography. There's one more definition of graphic designing. It's graphic designers create and combine symbols, images, and text to form visual representation. See, everything here deals with the visual representation. जो हम देख रहे हैं, जो हम चीज़ों को समझ रहे हैं, कम्युनिकेशन लाइक रिटर्न भी हो रहा है, ओरल भी हो रहा है, बट यहाँ पे ग्राफिक्स की जब हम बात करते हैं, इट ऑल डील्स विद द विजुअल कम्युनिकेशन. Everything that has to deal with the visuals, text, images, animation, etc., like icons, like typography, like photography. They use typography, visual arts and page layout technique to create visual composition. We create visual composition to send or to deliver our message to the customer or the audience. You can see magazines, you can see newspapers, you can check the websites. Everything deals with the graphics, and all the communication design, you can say, deals with the graphics. Coming to the next slide, typography. Basically, what is typography? And as it is very much clear from the name, you're typing something, not like typing, yeah, a little bit that typing. It is the art of arranging letters and text that makes the copy legible, clear, visually appealing to the reader. Typography involves font style, appearance, and structure, which aims to elicit certain emotion and convey messages. So, from definition, it is very much clear that it is the art of arranging letters and text that makes a copy. I'll give you some examples. Like these are the few small examples you can say. This a gun. Typography, here we are combining the letters and the gun. Now, what is gun? Gun. When we talk about the weapons, what the first weapon comes to our mind, that is a gun. Okay. So education is the most powerful weapon. Now, this is the message that the designer that needs to communicate to the audience. Okay. Now, the text is a single line that education is the most powerful weapon. And the weapon, when we talk about the weapon that comes to our mind, that is a gun. There are a lot of other weapons are there, but we talk about the gun. So now we are arranging the letters like words. Education is the most powerful weapon. Inside the weapon, we are embedding the text and the image inside. So that gives some different meaning. So we can talk about the second example. This is Pikachu, Pokemon's one of the cartoon, Pikachu. So the words that Pikachu that he used to say Pika P, Pikachu, like so all those words you can see inside this illustration of the Pikachu, and the color of the Pikachu is yellow, so the yellow color is used, and in the eyes you can see it's a red color, pink color. Coming to the third example, it's world famous coffee house Starbucks. So the words that are used in this coffee creamy culture, Starbucks, we speak your language, rich, smooth, delicious. You can see all those words inside this cup and the straw. So these are the words that are used in the advertising and the showroom interior, these words. So they have tried to send you the message inside this image. So it's a typography thing. Coming to the fourth example, let's do what you love what you do. Now these are the other two sentences, do what you love and love what you do. So the common term, the common word in both the sentences is love, L-O-V-E, love. So they have assembled this thing in a very good way, like they have centered the love and do what, do what you love and what you do at the bottom. So the love is common. So here we can read or we can say like do what you love what you do. Coming to the next example, meaning of the family, Family. F stands for the father, A and M stands for the mother, ILY, I love you. So it's like family. They have portrayed, they have told you the meaning and the message of the family. What is typography used for? So basically, whenever we study something, we do something, the first question that comes to our mind कि हम ये काम कर क्यों रहे हैं exactly, हम ये किस लिए कर रहे हैं, उससे outcome क्या निकलेगा. So designers often use typefaces to set theme and mood in an advertisement. There are various ad agencies all over the world. So the role of the creative, role of the advertisers and designers, they have to set the mood. For example, if you talk about the Domino's or if you talk about the McDonald's, the colors that are used inside the showrooms, it's like the colors that they use, like Domino's, blue color, red color, and McD, yellow color, red color. These are the colors that are used for the food that somewhere makes our taste gland active. So they set the mood, or when we enter to the Domino's or showroom, then you can see the colors that are used on the walls, on the table, chair, on the packaging that are similar that are used to the in the deliveries boy buy. So somewhere they have made the continuity and somewhere they have set that mood. That's the theme. So theme and the mood they have set by using bold, large color, text, and the various other things. Choice of typefaces is often used to draw attention of a particular advertisement. Yeah, particular advertisement. There are various companies, brand, products, everywhere, everything. So particularly, they have used those colors to change or to make the attention or to gain the attention of the target audience or the customer by using various colors, shape, and the images. So this is the main purpose कि हम कोई काम क्यों कर रहे हैं, typography है. तो so thank you for watching this small PowerPoint presentation. Let me take you to the next thing, that is serif. It is also one of the important part of the typography. Serif, typefaces. When you talk about the typefaces, it's serif. So there are various fonts that when we use in the Photoshop, when we use in the Microsoft Word. Serif. This is the typefaces. So what is serif? Basically, serif, whatever the fonts that we see used, it has sharp edges at the end, the tails that you can see. Serif. Here you can see the side edges. Yeah. Let me introduce with the example of the masthead of the Times of India. Most of you have seen the newspaper Times of India. Obviously, you must have seen uh, THE. Now you can see the T. It is the sharp edges here, E sharp edges again IMESOFINDIA. So these three examples of Forbes, Vogue, and the entrepreneur. Entrepreneur with Ramdev Babaji, Vogue, and Shah Rukh Khan, Forbes. You can see FORBES in the back side, the head of the Shah Rukh Khan. Similarly here VOGUE, the back side of the Priyanka Chopra, and entrepreneur. The fonts that they have used is serif. Coming to the second type of typefaces, sans serif. Yeah. So now you can see SANS sans. These side edges are not sharp. These are smooth. Okay. So coming to the example, you must have seen Hindustan Times. तो basically इसमें Hindustan Times में आपने HINDUSTAN इसमें आपने देखा होगा, तो कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है इसमें, सिंपली साइड में कोई एजेस नहीं होते हैं, स्मूथ रहता है. ठीक है. टॉप गियर मैगजीन या फिल्म फेयर, इनका भी पैटर्न सेट रहता है, कभी कोई बहुत चेंजेस नहीं करते हैं. इनका जो ये सैंस सेरिफ फॉन्ट है और ये टाइप फेसेस ऐसा यूज करते हैं. आपने दो एग्जांपल सुने होंगे, टाइम्स न्यू रोमन एंड द एरियल ब्लैक. टाइम्स न्यू रोमन जो है दैट इज बेसिकली अ serif example. Now we talk about the Arial black. It is one of the example of the family of sans serif. Coming to the next, decorative. It is the third type of typeface, you can say decorative. This does not have the serif or the sans serif. Earlier in other books you will see there are two types of typefaces, serif and sans serif. But in some you can see decorative typefaces also, because the fonts are little bit decorative type. If you see the example of this blanket, this second image, and the three idiot one. So designer 3 IDIOTS. So these are neither serif or non-sans serif. These are decorative ones. Basically, most of the people who creates the creative typography, so they use their creative mind. They use their freestyle, you can say. So they do not follow the serif or the sans serif font typefaces. They use their own innovative ideas and the other things. This lines is it's a small example of baseline, middle line, ascender, descender. Whenever we design magazine, whenever we design newspaper or the pamphlet or the other things, there are a few things that we keep in our mind. Baseline. Now, what is baseline? When we write HAPPY, it's a small example of Happy Diwali. HAPPY, Happy Deepavali. So this red line that you can see at the bottom base of the HA is the baseline. Okay. Now coming to this second one, this is the middle line. Middle line. These are the two red lines that you can see, P and P inside this. Okay, basically these are four lines. I hope you must have used that four lines when you were in nursery, KG schools. तो उस टाइम पे ऐसा होता था कि हमें टीचर्स लोग स्कूल से देते थे कि आपको क्रिएटिव राइटिंग, कर्सिव राइटिंग करनी है, उसमें हम फोर रूल्स वाली लाइंस यूज करते थे. तो दिस इज समवेयर कि इसी तरीके का समवॉट, दिस इज समवॉट वैसे ही कुछ है. दीपावली. नाउ दिस एग्जांपल P AWALI. See, in this top of this you can see the green line, ascender height, top line. So the top line is ascender height, the base line is the third one, and the bottom line is descender line. We all say, you can also say that it's a beard line, it's a bottom line. So beard, it's in the bottom of the face, right? So descender height, ascender height is the top one, descender height is the base one. Now the middle line, center one, and the base line. It is basically used to when we design the cards and the greeting cards, pamphlet, posters, newspapers. So we have to keep in mind the letters, alignment, placement. So the next topic is color wheel. Primary colors are those like red, blue, and yellow color. Secondary color, when we will add two primary colors, we will get the secondary color. When we will add red and the blue color, we will get the violet color. When we will add the blue color and yellow color, we will get the green color. When we will add the yellow and the red color, we will get the orange color. Similarly, what are the tertiary colors? When we will add one primary and the one secondary color, we will get the tertiary color. Like when we will add red and the orange color, we will get the red orange color. It is the tertiary color. When we will add the orange and the yellow color, we will get the yellow orange color, again a tertiary color. When we will add green and the yellow color, we will get the green or yellow color. When we will add the blue and the green color, we will get blue green color. Similarly, blue and the violet color, when we will add, we will get the blue violet color. Again, we will add the violet and the red color, we will get the red violet color. This is the entire complete color circle that you can see. Primary colors are red, blue, and green. Now, when we talk about the secondary colors are violet, orange, and green. When we will talk about the tertiary colors are red, orange, yellow, green, blue, violet, and the red violet. So these are the primary, secondary, and tertiary colors. In a nutshell, you can say when we will add two primary colors, we will get the secondary color. When we will add the one primary and the one secondary color, we will get the tertiary color. So this is the entire color wheel. Now, from this color wheel, we can study about the split colors, complementary split, dyadic colors. So, coming to the next color schemes, that is, first one is complementary color scheme. So the first example I'll take the orange and the blue color. So this is orange and the blue color, orange and blue. These are the colors which are just opposite to each other. It is not necessarily orange and blue is the only example of the complementary. Any color in the circle which are opposite to each other. See, this red and the green can also be the complementary color. So violet and the yellow can also be the complementary color as they are opposite to each other. Coming to the second color scheme, that is rectangle tetradic color scheme. Four colors that are orange, red, blue, and green. These colors are used because they are forming a rectangle. From the name, it is very clear rectangle color scheme. So we have to form a kind of rectangle inside the circle or inside the color wheel so that it forms a rectangle. So when we make a rectangle, these are four colors that lie in the rectangle shape. Again, these are the not only for examples of the rectangle color scheme because you can say it's not only the example because these are the not only four colors which are lying in the rectangle. We can make a rectangle in any angle or in the circle. So any four colors which are forming the rectangle can be the rectangle color. Coming to the third one, that is analogous color scheme. Analogous color schemes means the three colors they are coming back to back with each other, or the three colors which are coming next to next each other. This analogous example we have used here is green, blue, green, and the blue color. These three colors. We can take any three color, four colors back to back next to each other in this entire circle anywhere. This circle that will be called as analogous color scheme. Coming to the fourth one, that is triadic color scheme. Triadic color scheme means we have formed a triangle inside the circle of the color wheel. We have taken an example of red, orange, blue, violet, and yellow, green. These are the three colors that we have used in this circle. So that triangle is formed. So it's named this triadic color scheme. Next is square color scheme. The square color scheme is similar to the rectangle, but with all four colors spaced evenly around the circle. Triangle, so we are using triadic in triangle. Square color, we are using square. Rectangle, we are using rectangle. So here we are making a square rather than rectangle. Four colors evenly spaced. Now the difference between rectangle and squares, again, it's a question. Like two sides are similar in rectangle and square, all the four sides are similar. So here we are making square inside the circle, so all the space is evenly spaced. Like two circles has to be maintained space in between the circles. Like example of red, orange, and violet, green, blue, and yellow. These are four colors which are lying evenly spaced with each other. So it's a color scheme where what we say square color scheme. The last one is split complementary. Complementary we have studied right now. Complementary are the colors which are lying opposite to each other. Here you can see this first example. Complementary split. So split complementary, the other part of complementary that is getting split. So the first here is yellow color.
and the other side is red violet and the blue violet color. These are the two colors which is splitting on the other side. We can use any color in this color wheel, but it has just following the principle, one side opposite with each other and two next to each other, like splitting each other. So I hope you must have learned, you must have got a lot of insights about the color schemes, color wheel, what are the primary color, what are the tertiary colors, and the other things also. Please be in touch with this video. अगर आपने अभी तक channel को subscribe नहीं किया है, तो please go and subscribe this channel, like, you can share also. I hope you must have learned a lot of new insights, new topics, new things in my video lecture. So thank you for watching and please be in touch.
Hello and welcome to everyone. This is Rabenshu Sharma, Assistant Professor in Department of Journalism and Mass Communication of Babu Banarsidass University. I'm back with the new topic of today, that will be elements of design and the principle of design. I hope you must have remembered all the topics that we have discussed in the last video lecture, that was typography, graphic designing, and the color schemes, primary color, secondary color, and the tertiary colors. So today we will be discussing about the next level, that is the elements of design. There are the elements which are used in designing, and there are the few principles that are used in designing. So the elements of design, we will be discussing firstly with the elements of design. Elements of design are the basic fundamental according to which an artist, architect, or the painter that works. We all know that the designs that are used by the architect, the painter, the artist, and the other people who are creating to creative field, who are using designing, who are making things like so they need few elements. It is not necessary that all the elements are required in a design, but there can be 2, 3, 4, or 5 elements as per your requirement, but at least one element is required in a design. So the first element of the design is line, the second element of design is color, the third element of design is shape, fourth is texture, fifth is form, sixth is space, and seventh is value. See, these are the 7 basic, or you can say it's are the important elements that one needs. डिजाइन हम कोई भी बना सकते हैं, कैसे भी बना सकते हैं, किसी भी तरीके के बना सकते हैं. उसमें हम चाहे तो एक एलिमेंट यूज करें, चाहे तो दो यूज करें, या फिर दो से ज्यादा. तो हम नेक्स्ट स्लाइड में इनको एक एक एलिमेंट्स को हम डीपली डिस्कस करेंगे. शॉर्ट में अगर मैं डिस्कस करूं तो लाइन, we all know we are using lines from right from the nursery kg1 class. Colors we are using in every colors, in every design. Shape, square, rectangle, another thing. Texture, that we see of the different forms, different colors, जिसको हम छूते हैं और लगता है कि वो ऐसा फीलिंग आ रही है, लाइक वुडन का या वो आर्किटेक्चर का या वो ग्राउंड की या वो ग्रास की फीलिंग आती है, समथिंग दैट वी टच एंड फील. फिफ्थ इज फॉर्म. फॉर्म इज अगेन अ शेप. Sixth is value, and sixth is sorry space, and seventh is value. So we'll be discussing the elements in the next slide deeply. First is line. Extension of a point in particular direction is called line. See, extension in a particular direction, that can be a north, that can be in the south, and can be in the east and west, anywhere. So extending a point is a line. Line can be a straight, it can be a zigzag, it can be a curve or diagonal, whatever it is shown on a picture. Line can also be vertical, and it can be horizontal. Line is the basic element of the design. Sometimes we use the borders, that can also be a line. So here are the few examples of the lines. You can see it's a horizontal line, you can see it's a vertical lines. All vertical lines have an undefined slope. See, yeah, it's important. All the vertical lines cannot have a definite slope, so it's undefined slope. These are a non-vertical line with a positive slope. Moving right side is a positive, and the right and the left side is a negative. When we plot a graph, the y-axis or x-axis and the y-axis, so the left side of the area is
will be in the negative area and the right side will be a positive. So with reference to that, we can see here it is a non-vertical line with a negative slope, and the right side we can see a non-vertical line with a positive slope. हॉरिजॉन्टल लाइन जो वर्टिकल में स्लोप वर्टिकल में लाइन है जिसका स्लोप जीरो है, दैट इज द हॉरिजॉन्टल एंड द वर्टिकल. These you can see it's a zigzag lines. And the other thing, coming to the next slide, color is what we see when light reflects an object. See, when light falls on something, then the object, if it has some color like red, blue, yellow, green, orange, whatever, etc. If you talk about the primary, secondary, and tertiary color, then it's like so. When light falls on that object and it reflects, it's a color. See, every object around us has a color, either primary, secondary, or tertiary. Let me recall you one thing again. If we add two primary colors, we get the secondary color. If we add one primary and one secondary color, we get the tertiary color. What are the color? What are those colors that I've already discussed in my last video? If you want to read about or if you want to watch that video, you can go back to that video and see about the color wheel, color circle, complementary split colors. Third point, it completely depends on light that how a color looks like. See, if we have a brown color, if we throw more light, it will be light brown. If we throw less light, then it will be dark brown. So it completely depends on how light falls on the color. Next point, for example, in darkness, an object will show different color than to be in light. Every color has its own different shades, either light or the dark. Every color has different shade. Shade, what is shade? Shade, if we add the black color in a particular color, then it changes the shade. Generally, when you go in the market and you go for the outfits, you ask, it's a red color, but do you have more shades in this dress? Or when girls go to the market to buy a lipstick, then they ask for the different shades of the lipstick. So that's a shade, percentage of darkness in a particular color. That's a shade. Here is a color wheel again. What I have discussed earlier: primary color, secondary color, tertiary color. I'm not going to discuss this again. It's just a small recall. You can see it's a color wheel that I have already discussed. Primary color yellow color and red color and the blue color, secondary color orange color, violet color and the green color, and tertiary color yellow orange, red violet, blue green, and yellow green color. Coming to the third element of the design, that is shape. Two-dimension surface is called shape. An object which has only flat surface like length and width. Shape does not have an thickness in it. Shape can be square, triangle, and rectangle, or the oval. Let's see the example of some shape. Here you can see very common shape: a circle, a triangle, square, star, moon, rectangle, pentagon, hexagon, octagon, diamond. It's also called rhombus, cross, trapezoid, arrow, oval, heart, and parallelogram. Parallelogram generally it has two sides parallel to each other and they are equal in shape and size. So these are the few shapes that are used in the design. Sometimes we use boxes in a design. Sometimes we use, like when we design the greeting card, sometimes we use square, we use star, we use triangle, and the other things. If we talk about the infographics, the information based on the graphics, the elements, the shapes, generally we use a lot of shapes we use. Coming to the fourth element of the design, that is texture. Texture is what we feel, as I have already discussed. Texture, जब हम किसी चीज को देखते हैं, उसको छूते हैं और हम उसको फील करते हैं कि वो एग्जैक्टली वो रियल चीज है. So texture is what we feel when we touch any surface or any object. It can also be defined as a roughness or the smoothness of the subject. It's like, again, when we touch something, we can feel either it's smooth or rough. So based on that, the texture is, surface can be hard, it can be smooth, it can be rough. Every matter in this world has a texture. Yes, Every matter in this world has a texture. If you talk about right now where I'm sitting right now, you can see it's a chair. You can see you can't see it's a table because laptop is on the table. So it has some texture, whether it's a ceramica or whether it's steel base, and it has polished paint on the base of this table. So every surface has the texture. If you talk about the shirts, if you talk about the jeans, every clothes has the texture. Sometimes we notice texture of a surface just by looking at the object, and sometimes we need to exactly touch that object to get to know what the texture of the object is. Yeah, because nowadays very lot of new designs are coming in the market. So one needs to know exactly what does it is it. So sometimes we get confused. That's why we need to touch that object and we need to get to know about what the object is all about. Different objects have different texture. So it's here are the few examples. You can check, see. Rough texture of a tree trunk. It's the first image. It's here. You can see it's something like a tree rough type texture. As I've already told you, it can be a rough, it can be a smooth. So here you can see it's a smooth texture of the blanket. In reality, it's not a blanket. It is feeling like it's a blanket. Here again, it's a tree. No, it's not a tree. Texture is of tree. This can be the ceramica of my table or my chair or my Almira paint. Now again, it's a hard surface of a brick. As we can see, brick, when we will touch, it will be embossed somewhat. So when we will touch, we will get the feeling of, yeah, we are touching some kind of bricks. But in reality, it's not a brick. It gives us the feeling of the brick. Coming to the fifth element of design, that is form. Form. Three-dimensional surface is called form. Basically, in our school times, we have studied about the axis, x-axis, y-axis, and the z-axis. If I talk about the axis, see, it's a x-axis, it's a y-axis, and it is a z-axis. I don't have three pens right now, otherwise I would have shown you three axes. I hope you must have got this small thing. An object which has not only flat surface but has length, width, and height. Three things that are important: the dimension, x-axis, y-axis, and the z-axis. That shape with thickness is a form. Form can be cubical, it can be sphere, it can be conical. Let me show you some examples of this form. See here, it's a sphere. Again, it's a cube. It has three dimension. This is, you can say, x-axis, is y-axis, and this is what z-axis. Again, this z-axis, this is y-axis, and this is x-axis. Again, it's a cone, pyramid, and cylinder. Each and every elements that you can see right now in front of the screen is a form, and it has three dimensions. Coming to the sixth element of the design, that is a space. This is the most important element, I could say, space, because if you add a lot of space in the design, automatically your design will be more catchy, more appealing, because you are giving a breathing space. What is that? The area around, below, near any object is space. Right now, in this screen also you can see this space, like SPACE. This word is written space. Here is a space. Here is a space. Here is a space. Just imagine what would have happened if I have filled this entire screen with the text or with the images. It will be very in haphazard way that one would see and feel it's a very shabby design. So you need to give some space in all around the slide, like top of the space in the bottom, this left side, like alignment space, left, right side. So it's all about the space. Let me show you some example. It's a small single image, and you can see the white color in the background. In the foreground, you can see this shape. So the space is there. It's a positive space. Sometimes I hope you must have remembered the advertisements of the iPhones, a big hoarding or the big billboards in your city in the prime location. You can see iPhone that is in the center, and some two or three lines text is written or not. and the rest of the thing, white area, that is the white area, that is called the space. Coming to the seventh, that is the value. Value can be described as the darkness or the lightness of an object, not of the space, of the object, for the object that you're using in the design, the darkness or the lightness of the element. The value can be obtained by color, texture, line, or scale, but it is mostly related with the color because it shows the shade of an object. Shade, again, what is the shade? The darkness, the dark color that is used in the color, that is the shade. Due to value, one can differentiate easily in same composition. We don't need to require to change the composition. In the same composition, one can check the value. Like it's example of the value. You can see here it's color is black. I would say it's a black. Now this color, this and this, these are the three different shades of black, because the percentage of darkness is increasing gradually. If you talk about the first strip, it's a white and a little bit of black color. Again, we're adding few percentage of black. In the third strip, we're adding few percentage of black color. In the fourth and in the fifth, we're adding black color little bit in the every step. So in design here also you can see the percentage of the darkness, it's changing everywhere. Value can be obtained by color, texture, and the line. So here you can see the color, it's black. Texture, it's a rough texture all over here. So thank you for reading this. I hope you must have liked this video, and if you have some queries, you can mention, you can ask about the questions in the comment section. And I hope you must have liked the video. Please like the video, share, and subscribe to my new channel. Thank you so much.